Taking a moment to arrive in your comfortable seat or starting position, ensuring that your body is as supported as it needs to be this morning, that you are as comfortable and warm as possible. And maybe before you start, if you're lying, you might gently rock the head side to side. If you're sitting, you might roll through the shoulders and release any tension you're holding in the head, neck, shoulder area. And then allow yourself to settle and arrive into the practice this morning. I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring awareness to the parts of your body in contact with the earth and begin to connect to your breath. Following your breath as it moves in and out of the body. Allowing it to flow as deep as feels comfortable for you this morning. And just observing for your first few breaths. Maybe you feel the breath traveling mainly to the chest, the shoulder area. Or if there's a looseness in the body, maybe you feel the breath traveling a little deeper towards the rib cage, the belly. And seeing if it's possible with each breath cycle to deepen the inhale and the exhale, to allow as much air as possible to move into the body, to fuel and energize, and also to release any static air that's been within you. Allow yourself to reset. Today we will be exploring our fourth element, Vayu, V-A-Y-U, air element, linked to the body type Vata and to the chakra Anahata, our heart chakra at the heart space. So bringing awareness to your heart space, your chest, your thorax, and allowing the breath to flow in and out of the body as you follow the air from the atmosphere moving into the body and the air within your body moving back into the atmosphere. Air element is invisible, unseen, yet it can be a powerful force of nature. Notice what air element represents for you. The stillness of air all around you. The gentle breeze in your face. Or maybe as strong as a gust of wind, as a hurricane moving through you. Air can be still, and air can be powerful. How much air element do you have within you this morning? Vayu is linked to the qualities of lightness, freedom, clarity. Do you have a lightness and freedom in the body, mind, and spirit today? If there's a heaviness, a lack of clarity, an obstruction. Let's see if we can curate and navigate that lightness and freedom as we connect to the element of air. Allow yourself to take on the element of air within you and connect to the air surrounding you. And if you haven't already, I invite you to start to deepen your breath. Breathing in through the nose, allowing the breath to go as deep into the rib cage, deep into the belly as feels available for you. Take a pause at the top of your inhale, and then as you exhale, allow any air within the body to release, to flow back into the atmosphere around you. Release any heaviness from the body, mind, or spirit. I invite you to breathe into the count of 4. Pause, then breathe out to the count of 4, out through the nose or mouth, whichever feels most available. Pause, breathe into the count of 4. Pause, out to the count of 4. Continue this flow. Check in with your body. Ensure you relax through your shoulders, through your jaw, through your face. And if it feels available, maybe you inhale to the count of 5. Pause and exhale to the count of 5. Equal inhale to exhale. And if this feels too powerful for you this morning, maybe you're working to inhale to the count of 2 and exhale to the count of 2. Finding that balance between the breath in and the breath out of the body. Exploring how deep you can move into your breath. And if there's a lightness, a freedom that you're able to work into, you may increase your inhale to the count of 6. And exhale to the count of 6. Keeping a softness in the body. A lightness in the breath. Taking one more breath cycle in this way. And if you're lying, I invite you to start to make your way up to a comfortable seat. If you're seated and starting to feel a little uncomfortable, maybe you change your seated position or gently shift side to side. Can be grounding to shift the fleshy parts of the buttocks to really connect to the sit bones onto the earth, maybe onto the chair. And if there's any stiffness in the hips today and you'd like to sit onto the mat, maybe you sit up onto a cushion, a soft block, to allow the hips and the knees to open. And I invite you to come into our Vayu mudra, our hand gesture linked to the element of air, where we connect the the tip of the index finger towards the palm, and then we gently guide the thumb on top of the index finger to hold that in place. So the pad of the index finger moves towards the palm, and then we close that off gently with the thumb and allow the other remaining fingers to softly rest. And in this position here, I invite you to gently roll through the shoulders and open through the chest. And bring awareness to any tension you may be holding in the shoulders, the neck, as we start to open through the heart chakra at the front of the body. And changing direction with the palms facing up, allowing a softness through the arms for the body to float. And come back to the center. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears, and exhale to release. Twice more. And allow the mudra to release. You can come back to the mudra at any point during your practice, and the arms float to the side of the body. As we inhale, bring the arms up and overhead. You might wish to have a bend in the elbows. Maybe the hands come to connect above the head, maybe a little closer towards the forehead. And as you exhale, draw the thumbs to the heart center. Take a moment to pause, draw your chin to your chest, and connect your palms behind the back of the head. Inhale, take your fingertips up towards the sky as far as feels comfortable. Keep a bend in the elbow if you need to. And then exhale, release the hands, take the palms away from the body as you float the fingertips, a lightness in the arms. Feel that air element within the body as you connect and interlace the hands behind the back of the body. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open through the chest. And exhale to release. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead as far as feels comfortable. The palms may connect as you exhale, draw the energy back to the heart space. Draw your chin to your chest, connect the palms behind the back of the head. And inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky. Your gaze can follow if that feels available in your neck. Exhale, float the fingertips, light fingers and arms as you connect your hands behind your body. And inhale to squeeze the shoulder blades together, open through the heart space. Slowly release. Inhale to sweep the arms. Exhale, draw your Anjali Mudra, your prayer position, to your heart space. Pause for a moment, chin to chest, connect the hands behind the back of the neck. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky, gaze can follow. Exhale, float your fingertips behind the body. Inhale to open through the heart space. Exhale to release. Continue to float, find a lightness, a freedom in your movement. Exhale to the heart space. Pause, connect the hands behind the neck. Inhale, take your gaze, your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, float the fingers behind the body. And inhale to open the chest. Exhale to release. If you feel comfortable with the flow, maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze as you connect to your breath, to the pace of your breath. and to the air flowing in and out of the body. A lightness and freedom through the movements, allowing that to penetrate into the mind and the spirit. Taking one more full round, connecting to air element in any way that feels right for you today. Finding a softening, maybe finding strength through the powerful aspects of Vayu. And on your next inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And exhale, take the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the body. Come into a gentle spinal twist. Take a deep breath, lengthen through the spine, soften the shoulders. And exhale, allow yourself to twist as far as feels right for you today. Take a deep breath into the left side of the body. And exhale to release. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And exhale, we rotate to the right side, left hand to right knee, right hand behind the body. Soften the shoulders, lengthen the spine on an inhale. And exhale to gently twist. Take a deep breath into the right side of the body. And slowly return to the center. Take your left hand out to the side. Bend the left elbow to soften the shoulder and ground through the right sit bone. If you're seated in the chair, bring your left hand down towards the earth. So allow the hand to release. And then starting off, maybe your right hand comes to your waist, pointing your elbow out to the side. Maybe your right hand comes to your shoulder, pointing your elbow up to the sky. Or you might take your right fingertips up to the sky, maybe overhead, to feel the stretch through the right side body, keeping the left elbow and shoulder softened. So ensure that left shoulder moves away from the ear. And take a deep breath here into the right side of the body. And slowly release, come back to the center. We'll come to the other side to warm up. So take the right hand either by the side of the chair or maybe out to the side. If you go a little further out to the side, you'll go deeper into your side stretch. Bend the right elbow and soften the shoulder as you start with your hand on your waist. If it feels available, maybe the hand comes to the shoulder, point the elbow up to the sky, or take your left fingertips up towards the sky, option to come overhead. Choose the position that feels right for you. Keep the right shoulder softened and take a deep breath here. And on an exhale, connect to your center, navel to spine. As you float the left fingertips forward, plant the left hand, and on your inhale, take the right fingertips forward and overhead. Maybe you go a little deeper into that side stretch. Exhale, connect your center, sweep the right fingertips forward, followed by the left. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, float the left fingertips forward, followed by the right. And continue to flow with your breath. We exhale to connect, float forwards, and we inhale to side body stretch. Opening up through the side of the thorax into the rib cage. only going as deep as feels right for you. We'll take one more flow, finding a lightness, a freedom in your movement as you move like air. And then slowly coming back to the center. We'll start to make our way onto our hands and knees. If you would prefer to stay seated, please do. Maybe you change your position because we've been seated for a little while. So you might notice that your body would like to change that position. And if you're coming onto your hands and knees, we can transition that floating movement, starting with our cat-cow flow. Spread the fingertips, bring the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, unless that doesn't work for you. Now, if you notice there's a discomfort in the kneecaps, maybe in the wrists, you might bring a blanket or something underneath for a little extra cushioning. And on an inhale, lift the tailbone just a little up to the sky, a gentle arch of the lower back as your belly button moves towards the mat. And you'll notice that your chest bone will start to open towards the top of your mat. Take your gaze to the top of your mat and squeeze the shoulders away from the ears. This is our cat pose, Vittalasana. And on an exhale, push into the fingertips, the tops of the feet, tuck the tailbone, draw your navel to your spine as you round through your body into your cat pose, Madhyasana. Draw your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift the tailbone, gently arch the spine, open the chest maybe a little deeper. And exhale to tuck and round into your cat pose. Continue to flow with your breath if you're seated. Doing the same movements in your chosen seat. Inhale to open the chest bone, squeeze the elbows back, gently arch the spine. And exhale to tuck and round through the body, chin to chest. Starting to deepen the movements into the spine, into the heart space. Following your breath and allowing the air to move as deep into the body as is available for you today. And as we start to connect to Vayu, our air element, allowing our cat-cow flow to take a unique quality, so moving in a way that feels right for your body, and that might stay in your traditional cat-cow, moving a little deeper. Maybe you'd like to come onto the wrists a little more, circle through the body. You might wish to bump the hips to one side and stretch through the side body as you take your gaze to the opposite side of the mat. Maybe you'd like to circle through the thorax, through the rib cage, or even guide the sit bones back towards the heels, work into the hips a little more deeply. Still following your breath, still moving in a way that is flowing, that is connected. And allowing your body to feel a lightness, a freedom in the movement, choosing the right movements for you and your body. What would feel good for you today? Maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze. As you take 2 or 3 more breath cycles. Coming back to the center. If you're on your hands and knees, I invite you to take your left fingertips up to the sky, open through the left side of the chest. And as you exhale, take your left fingertips between your right wrist and knee and bring the fingertips all the way over to the right side and allow the back of the hand, the forearm, to land onto the earth. If this feels too powerful for you today, we have another option. If you're in your thread the needle, lower the side of your left forehead and cheek towards the earth. You might bring something up to lean onto if that feels more comfortable, if it feels too straining in your back. And take maybe your right fingertips to the top of the mat. They might frame the face, or maybe they come behind the body towards the left hip. So finding your position in thread the needle, if that feels too powerful for you today, or you're choosing to remain in seated, I invite you to take the left fingertips over to the left side and then bring the left hand across the body. Bring the right forearm just above the elbow to the upper arm and allow yourself to feel that stretch in the back of the left arm towards the shoulder. Allow the left hand to soften, the left shoulder moves away from the ear. And wherever you are, take 3 deep breaths in your thread the needle or in your arm stretch. Feel that opening in the back of the left shoulder, the back of the heart space. On your next inhale, slowly release. Come back to your seated position or your hands and knees, depending on where you are. And we'll come to the other direction. On your next inhale, take your right fingertips up to the sky or out to the side. And exhale with thread the needle. Right fingertips come to the left side. Lower the outside of your right forehead and cheek to the earth or to a cushion. And take your left hand either to frame the face to the top of the mat or maybe behind the body to the opposite hip. Or maybe you would prefer to bring the right hand across the body. Feel that stretch along the back of the right shoulder, maybe into the arm. And take 3 deep breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly release. Come back onto your hands and knees or your comfortable seat. And where your wrists are under your shoulders, I invite you to step your hands forward and lower your elbows where your shoulders were. Lift your tailbone up to the sky so the hips are above the knees. And then lower your forehead towards the earth. Again, if it feels a little far away, you're straining through your neck, through your back. Then bring the earth up to you. Maybe put a cushion or a rolled up blanket underneath your forehead. Now, coming into our heart opener pose, melting heart or puppy pose, you might know it as, can be quite powerful in the front of the chest. If that feels too powerful, option to interlace the hands behind the body and open through the chest here. So making your choice, coming into your melting heart or your heart and shoulder opening here. And wherever you are, I invite you to take 5 deep breaths. Soften into the shoulders. Allow the chest bone to melt towards the heart. Feel a lightness through the body. Taking one more breath here. Slowly release, and we're coming to a counter position where we allow the body to reset. So that might be your child's pose, bringing your big toes together. Your knees can be flush together or as wide as the mat, lowering your forehead to the earth. Again, you might bring the earth up towards you and either extend your hands to the top of your mat or maybe rest your hands behind the body, palms facing up. If that's too powerful in the knees, maybe you come into a seated hug where you bend the knees and draw your forehead towards your kneecaps, release the back of the neck. If you in seated, I invite you to draw one knee at a time towards the chest. Release the forehead. Come into your bowed position. If you're seated, changing over, drawing the other knee into your chest. As we all take 3 more breaths. Slowly release. Come onto your hands and knees. Step 1 foot forward, followed by the other, and we'll slowly start to make our way to standing. If your energy is low today, come to a comfortable seat. As we come back into our arm vinyasa flow, but finding more of a depth in our movement. So bending through the knees, if you're seated, bring the arms out to the side, up and overhead. Really stretch the fingers, stretch the side of the body. Connect the hands above the crown of the head. Keep a bend in the elbow if you need to. And exhale, draw that energy, draw your navel to your spine as you bring your thumbs to your heart space, Anjali Mudra. Guide your chin to your chest, bow into your Anjali Mudra. Take your hands connected behind the back of the neck. Push into the soles of the feet, tuck the tailbone under, strong through the core. As you inhale, take your fingertips up to the sky. Keep a softening in the elbow if you need to. Exhale, float the fingertips either side of the body. Interlace the hands. Inhale, open through the chest, maybe a little deeper than when you were seated. And exhale to release. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, Anjali Mudra to the heart space. Pause, hands connect behind the neck. Inhale, reach the fingertips and gaze to the sky. Exhale, float the fingers either side of the body, interlace behind the back. Inhale to open through the chest. Maybe the hands move a little further away. And exhale to release. Continue to flow with your breath. Find a lightness, a freedom. Connect to the element of air. Taking one more flow. Maybe you slow down the movement, soften your gaze, really connect with your body. Allow any active thoughts to float away. And slowly release. Spread the toes of the left foot. Same if you're seated, connecting that left foot to the earth. And take the right toes to the outside of the left foot. If you feel that your balance is affected at the moment, then maybe you stand a little closer to a stable surface like a table or a wall. Maybe there's a chair in front of you. If you're seated, you may find that you keep a strong bend in the knee and you cross the leg over, or you straighten the leg so you cross more at the lower part of the leg, whatever feels most comfortable for you. If you feel quite connected to your balance and you feel able to and safe to, maybe you lift the right foot from the earth as we've bound the right leg over the left leg. And it's a good way of checking in. Notice how your balance is today. Some of it's physical, but also sometimes our balance might be off emotionally, energetically. So just bringing awareness to how your balance, just observing without judgment. Squeeze that left glute, ensure that left leg is strong. And then we'll take the right arm over the wrong way around. Left arm over the right. So the right leg is coming over the left. So the left arm comes over the right. And we'll start with a hug of the body. Keep the elbows high. If your shoulder movement allows, you might want to guide the front of the forearms so they're facing each other, as are the palms. Now, if this feels too powerful in your shoulders and your upper back, then come back to your hug. Keeping the elbows high. If you'd like to go a little deeper, maybe you bend the left knee, guide your sit bones back like you would in your chair pose. Connect your center, navel to spine. We'll take 3 breaths here. One more breath cycle. And as our Garudasana, our eagle pose, take flight, release the hands, lift the right knee and bring the arms out to the side. Exhale, float the left foot and fingertips either side of the body. And in between, just gently shake through the body. It might be more of a flow, it might be a shaking. Release the body, allow the body to float. And then we'll slowly come back to the center, move to the other side, spreading the toes of the right foot, strong through that right leg. Imagine you're growing an inch taller, connect your center. And then taking the left foot across the other side, initially keep the toes in contact with the earth. If you're seated, we're going to bring the left leg across with the knee bent. If you prefer to straighten the leg, cross the lower part of the leg. And then once you found your balance, option to lift the left foot away from the earth, only if that feels right for you. Squeeze that right glute, grow tall through the spine, and notice any differences, observing how it feels to balance on this side. And now we'll take the right hand across the left and hug through the body. If you would like to, maybe you allow the front of your forearms, your palms to connect. One side might feel a lot easier than the other. Keeping the elbows high, soften the shoulders. Option to bend the right knee, guide the sit bones back, connect your center. So we're not rounding through the body, the gaze is still forwards. Taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale, slowly release. Lift the fingertips, the left knee up to the sky, and exhale to float down to the earth. And again, coming into a gentle flow, maybe a shake of the body, whatever feels right, whatever allows you to find a lightness and a freedom. And when you're ready, we're going to start to make our way either into our comfortable seat or onto our backs, wherever you'd like to finish your practice today. So you might bring one foot over across the other, like we did in our eagle pose. Bend your knees and then guide your sit bones to the earth, or make your way down in any way that feels right for you. And we'll come onto our backs, drawing our knees into our chest. If you're seated, bring one knee up at a time. Maybe you circle one knee and then circle the other knee. And if you're on your back, you might wish to circle your knees. Maybe you prefer to rock side to side, making the right choice for your body this morning. And before we come into our Savasana, I invite you to bring your arms either side of the body. We have a few options here. You might want to just bring your hands wherever they fall, wherever feels comfortable. That might be quite close to the body, maybe diagonal, maybe out at shoulder height. If you'd like to go a little deeper into your chest, into your pec stretch, maybe you bring your elbows out to the side at shoulder height, and then you might bring the backs of your hands above your head with your palms facing up. So this is our cactus arm, where the arm is at a 90-degree angle. And keep the knees tucked into the chest. If you're feeling fatigued, maybe you lower the soles of the feet to the earth. Take a deep breath here. And on an exhale, lower the knees over to the right side. And keep the body facing upright. I invite you to keep your gaze up towards the ceiling, the sky, as your knees come over to the right. Now, if this feels like quite a strain in the body, maybe you bring something underneath your right thigh for a little support, a cushion or a blanket to bring the earth up to you. And your arm position might be quite different to mine. It's really important that the backs of the arms are in contact with the mat, the floor beneath you. And wherever you are, I invite you to take a few deep breaths here, opening through the left side of the chest. Breathing deep into the left chest, rib cage, belly. And as you exhale, maybe you soften and move a little deeper into your spinal twist. Taking 3 more breaths here. You're seated on the chair, bringing your knees to one side, keeping your body in the center, or rotating it to the opposite side. As you take your final deep breath. Exhale, draw your navel to your spine as you draw your knees back to the center. And then on your next exhale, lower your knees to the opposite side. And choose your arm position of choice. This might be quite different on this side, depending on how your body feels, any areas that feel maybe more tight or maybe a little more open on this side. And allow your body to move as deep into your spinal twist as feels right this morning. Breathing deep into the right side of the chest, rib cage, belly. Taking one more deep breath here. Exhale, draw your navel to your spine as you come back to the center. And doing any final movements that the body is craving this morning. Maybe a gentle rock side to side. You might want to come into your Supta Baddha Konasana, your butterfly or cobbler's pose. Maybe you would like to come into your bridge. Or the body and the mind, the spirit might be ready to come into your Savasana. And when you're ready, starting to make your way into your final pose. You might wish to explore a traditional Savasana on your back with your legs extended and your arms out to the side. Palms facing up, feet relaxing to the sides of the mat. If there's any discomfort in the lower back, option to bend the knees and guide the feet as wide as the mat and the knees resting in towards each other. Alternatively, you might come onto your side or into a comfortable supported seat. If lying on your back doesn't work for you. Allow your body to rest on the earth. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Lightly part the lips to release the jaw. Allow the forehead, brow, cheeks to soften. Allow the chest, shoulders, rib cage, torso, abdomen and pelvis to soften. Allow the arms to be heavy on the earth. Allow the hips and legs to be heavy on the earth. Bring awareness to the gentle, natural flow of your breath as the air moves slowly in and out of the body. Bring awareness to the vastness of air, of Vayu, surrounding you where you practice this morning. The stillness or the gentle movement of the air constantly surrounding you, fueling you. Our connection with all living beings. The power of air to sustain life and connection. Bringing awareness to the prana, the life force moving through the body. The energy that you've created in your practice today. The lightness and freedom of movement and stillness within the body, mind, and spirit. If you'd like to remain in your savasana, please do. Otherwise, I invite you to deepen your breath. Bringing awareness to the airflow in and out of the body. Start to bring some gentle movements into the fingers and the toes, the hands and the feet. And slowly allow the movement to extend into the arms and the legs, into the rest of the body until you come into a full body stretch. Draw your knees into your chest, rolling onto one side and making your way up to a comfortable seat. Coming to your Vayu mudra, guiding the index finger towards the palm, gently resting the thumb on the top of your index finger, releasing the other 3 fingers. And we'll finish today with an Om, feeling that prana, that vibrational energy moving through the body. Breathing in through the nose. Bring the palms together, the thumbs to the heart space. Gently bow towards your Anjali Mudra. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. May you take into the rest of your week what air element represents for you, and how much Vayu you have within your body, mind, and spirit. Seeing if we can curate a little more lightness, freedom, and clarity in our thoughts, our movements, our actions. Maybe contemplating choices we can make to find more lightness and freedom. Namaste.